Have you ever wanted to just wind down at night before you go to bed or a little after dinner? You just want to wind down, or maybe directly when you get home from work and you're just so like, you just need to wind down? Well, I'd like to bring to you a short little yoga practice that you can do that will help you de-stress and wind down from the day. So just come to your back on the mat, and you can always have a blanket and some blocks nearby because we never know when we're going to need those. So just come all the way down on your back and bring your feet up flat on the floor. So your feet are a little wider than hips distance apart. And bring your knees together. Bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. Close your eyes and just let it go. So relax your forehead. Relax through your cheeks and your eyes, and your chin just slightly tucks towards your chest, just gently. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your nose. Taking a few deep breaths here, in and out through your nose, trying to remain the same with your inhales and exhales. On your next exhale, let it out through your mouth with a big sigh. And gently, just let your knees fall over to the left side of the mat. And then bring them up to the center and let them fall over to the right side of the mat. And just go back and forth like windshield wipers with your knees. And now bring them back up to the center. And bring your right knee in towards your chest and leave your left foot on the mat. You can bring it out towards the end of the mat a little if that feels good. Go ahead and flex through that right foot, gently pulling the knee in towards your chest. Try to keep the backs of your shoulders on the mat. You can keep your eyes closed for this, or you can open them, whatever feels good for you. And then take your right hand to the right knee and just do some knee circles, some hip circles, rotating around. And then to the opposite direction. And bring your knee up and over the left knee, crossing your knees, and then hug them both in towards your chest, pulling both knees in, and then let them fall all the way over to the left side of the mat. The right arm can come out to the right, and you can look over that arm if that feels good. You may hear some popping and cracking through your low back. Just let it go. Take an inhale in and exhale out. And go ahead and bring the knees up towards the center, uncrossing, bringing the right foot to the mat. And bring your left knee in towards your chest, flexing through that left foot. Backs of the shoulders are on the mat. breathing. Bring your right knee up and cross the left knee. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead and do some knee circles here with the left knee going in circles. And then the opposite direction. And now you can cross that left knee over the right thigh, bringing both knees in towards your chest. And if it feels good, go ahead and raise your head up like a ball and come towards your knees. And then lay your head back down and bring the knees all the way over to the right side of the floor or to a block or a blanket if they don't reach. Left arm can come out to the left, looking over that left arm. Sigh it out here, inhaling deeply. And exhale. Bring the knees back up to the center, pulling both knees in towards your chest for a hug. And rolling and rocking up on your spine. So if that feels good on your spine and you don't have issues with osteoporosis, you can do this. Otherwise, just rock over to the right side and come up to sitting in your comfortable seated position. You can sit on the edge of a blanket if that feels good. Just gonna do a few neck rolls here. Arms can lay into your lap or on your knees. Take an inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, let the chin come down to your chest. Just letting go through the back of the neck. Gently take your chin from side to side, sweeping across your chest. Just tiny little movements. Inhale as you roll that right ear up and over towards your right shoulder. And you can bring that left fingertips over to the left side of the floor if that feels good on your neck for a deeper stretch. Inhale the left hand back up to the center and your head back up to the center. Take an inhale. Exhale, let your chin drop to the front once again. Inhale as you roll the left ear up and over towards your left shoulder. Right fingertips can come to the floor beside you. It's a little deeper stretch here. Inhale back up to the top. And just take a couple of breaths here, noticing how you feel, noticing any tension, and just letting it go. Bring the arms out and up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, hands down through the heart center, interlacing your fingers and pressing them out to the front. Inhale once again, back up to the top. And exhale, lean over to the right. Inhale up to the top. And exhale over to the left. Inhale up to the top. And on your exhale, let your fingertips go and come behind you, clasping your hands. Straighten your arms. Bring your palms together and just lift your chest. This is a good chest opener for all the things we do, like driving and on our computers. We're always coming forward, so really opening up through our chest. Inhale and exhale, release, bringing our hands back to our lap or to our knees gently, and just do some shoulder rolls back and down, and then forward and down. bring our legs out in front of us for Dandasana. This is our staff pose. Flexing through your feet. So you're bringing your toes back towards your face. Settling in on the edge of that blanket. Bring your hands to your thighs. Inhale as you lift through your spine so your crown of your head is reaching towards the ceiling. On your exhale, you can bring your belly down toward your thighs if that feels good. Just letting your fingertips walk gently down your down your legs towards your feet. Don't need to reach your feet. Keep your neck in line with your spine and gaze at your toes. If it feels good for you to come all the way down, you can do so. Just try to keep your back flat. Keep your neck straight in line. Inhale, rise back up to the top. And bring your legs out to a wide V. So stretching through our inner thighs. We're going to flex our feet. Our toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale as we bring our chest back down toward the mat. Now, we don't need to come down very far. Try to keep your feet flexed, your toes up towards the ceiling. If it feels good to bring a block in front of you, you can bring your fingertips to the block or your palms. Or you can come all the way down if that suits you. Never want to go too far. We don't want to injure ourselves. This is a deep hamstring stretch, or a deep inner thigh and hamstring stretch. So you're going to feel this if you've been sitting all day or anything where our legs need to be stretched out. And inhale as you walk your fingertips back up to the top. And bring your feet back in towards the center. Just coming over into tabletop position. So hands and knees. You can kneel on the blanket if that feels good. Inhaling for a couple of cat-cows, dropping your belly, lifting your chin. And exhaling into your cat pose, rising up with your back towards the ceiling, chin towards the chest. Inhaling, dropping the belly, tailbone lifts up towards the ceiling. And exhale as you arch through your back like a cat. Going at your own pace. Inhaling and exhaling. After your next exhale, let's bring that right foot up between our hands. So the left knee can come back onto the blanket a little further if that feels good. And rise up. Bring your arms up towards the ceiling. So pressing through that left hip flexor, we're going to feel that stretch in the front of the hip. Lifting. So you're energetically bringing the right heel toward the left knee. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Bring your hands to your heart center. And on your exhale, twist over towards the right. Bringing the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. The right elbow reaches up towards the ceiling. You can tuck the back toes and lift the back knee if that feels good to bring that strength through that back leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, drop the back knee if it's lifted and twist back to the front. And bring your hands down to the floor. And bring the right, toe step your right foot out towards the right side of the mat. Both hands are on the inside. Coming down into our dragon pose. So you can walk your hands out and come to your forearms or to a block, whatever works for you tonight.
Feeling that deep stretch through the inner thigh and the outer thigh. It's a really good hip opener here, especially if you've been sitting all day. And some people like to bring that right knee out towards the right, coming to the outside of that right foot, if that works for you. Inhale as you press yourself back up and bring that toe step, that right foot back in towards the center. And walk your hands back towards your hips, straightening the right leg. Bring the toes back towards your face. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bring the foot back to the mat, and then bring your knee back to meet the left knee into tabletop. And bring that right foot up, or the left foot up between your hands. And lift yourself up, inhaling. Bringing your arms up to the sky. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands towards your heart center and twist over to the left, bringing the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. If it works for you to tuck the back toes and lift the back knee, go ahead and do so. Feeling that strength in the right leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, drop the back knee and bring the hands down to the floor. And scooch that left foot out towards the left. Coming into dragon pose on the opposite side. So coming back down to your forearms or wherever feels good for you. Breathing into that hip. And inhale as you walk your hands back up to the center. And scooch that left foot back in towards the center. And walk your hands back towards your hips, straightening the left leg, bringing the left toes back towards your face. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bringing the foot back to the mat and walking your hands back up, bringing the left knee back to meet the right into tabletop. Tuck your back toes. Bring your hands out in front of you, about a hand's distance toward the front, and lift your hips into downward facing dog pose. Inhale. Exhale. Slight bend in the knees. Your elbows can come towards the center, so rotating your elbows in so you feel this in the backs of your shoulders. This takes the weight off of the front of your shoulders. It's much healthier for your shoulder. Breathing here. Looking up between your hands, walk your feet up towards your hands, coming into your forward fold, and just dangle here in your forward fold. Letting your head fall heavy. This separates your vertebrae in your neck and your spine from the day. And just shaking your head yes and no. Inhale as you lift halfway up, flat back, pressing your tailbone toward the wall behind you. And exhale, plant your palms and step your feet back into downward facing dog pose. Breathe here. Inhale, shift forward into plank. Exhale, drop your knees. And then your chest and your chin rolls down to the mat gently. Slide your hands out in front of you and lift your chest, inhaling for Cobra, Bhujangasana. Shoulders down, away from your ears. Come back down, exhaling. And inhale once again, lifting through that low back. So your low back is doing the work. And back down to the floor. One more. Inhale. Lift. Shoulders down. And exhale, coming down to the mat. Tucking your toes. Slide your hands back and come up into tabletop position. Slide your right knee towards your right wrist for pigeon pose. Your left leg goes straight back behind you. Walk your hands back towards your hips and lift your chest. Inhaling. And on your exhale, come forward. Just walk your hands down. Try to keep that right hip lifted up off of the mat. And just relax into this pose. This can be a yin pose as well, holding here for 3 to 5 minutes. Stretches through that outer hip. And when you're ready, walk your hands back towards your hips and lift your chest, inhaling. And exhaling, set your right hip onto the mat and swing that left leg around to the outside of that right thigh or in front of the right shin, works just as well. Bringing your left hand behind you. Inhale the right arm up and exhale, going halfway, making sure your spine is straight and lifted. And then twist through your torso. Bringing the right elbow to the outside of that left knee. Looking over your left shoulder. Inhaling, coming back to the front. And just do a little counter twist here. And then unfolding your knees, coming back into tabletop or downward facing dog pose. And bring the left knee towards your left wrist. Right leg goes straight back behind you. Lift your chest as you walk your hands back towards your hips. And exhale, letting yourself come down to the mat or to a block. Or you can make a little pillow with your hands for your forehead. Lifting through that left hip. Breathing. And letting it go. Inhale as you rise back up, pressing your hands back towards your hips, lifting through your chest. And on your next exhale, let your left hip come to the mat. And swing your right leg around to either in front of your left shin or to the outside of that left thigh. Right hand comes behind you. Inhale the left arm out and exhale as you twist halfway, making sure your spine is straight and lifted. And then come the rest of the way through your torso, looking over your right shoulder. We always want to twist further on the exhale. And inhale back to the front. And then a little counter twist. And then coming into back down to the floor on our backs. Lying all the way down, bringing your heels towards your hips for bridge pose. Palms are planted. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, lift through your hips, bringing your chest towards your chin. not your chin towards your chest. You don't want to feel this in your neck. So your hips are lifted. We can always do hip lifts here, up and down, if that feels good for you. Or you can lift the right leg and then the left leg. Whatever strength you feel you want to give in your glutes and your hips right here, you can do so. On your next exhale, lower your hips to the mat and do a couple of windshield wipers. And then we're going to do that once again. So bringing your heels towards your hips, take an inhale, and exhale, lift through your hips. And this time, if you'd like to adjust your shoulders and clasp your hands under your back, you can. Lifting strong through your torso and hips. And release your hands and let yourself come back down to the mat, just windshield wipering. And bring your legs straight up to the ceiling and do some ankle circles here. Outward circles, inward circles, pointing and flexing through your feet. And feel free to bring your hands up towards the ceiling, making a fist and doing some circles with your wrist. Or bringing your fingers wide apart, your toes wide apart, pressing towards the ceiling. Stretching through the fingers by pulling each finger back with the opposite hand. We'll feel that down, all the way down our forearm, which is a good stretch if you've been working on the computer today. Don't forget your thumb. And then shake it out. Just shake it out. Shake like a bug that's almost dying. Good job. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Curl up like a ball. And then let your legs go straight back up to the mat or ceiling once again. Bring your feet down into happy baby. So your knees are coming toward the floor, rocking around into your happy baby. And then you can bring your feet down to the mat and then all the way out into a short Shavasana, as long as you would like to be here, actually. Relaxing. Letting go through your forehead, through your cheeks. Swallow a couple of times to release through your throat. Backs of the shoulders fall heavily into the mat. Your feet fall out naturally, relaxing. Coming into whatever final pose works for you. A blanket under your knees or your head. And you can stay in your Shavasana as long as you would like. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Let it go.
Whatever did or didn't happen today, it's all good. You are where you're supposed to be. May we all shed our light and love to the world. Thank you for practicing with me. You can stay in your Shavasana as long as you'd like. Namaste.